All right, we have movement in the markets. Bitcoin was very boring like this whole weekend/week, and it got a little bit less boring just now. We are breaking market structure, at least for the short term, to the downside. We have broken a key trend line, and this is something that we talked about in the private VIP trading room inside of the Nordic Alpha server. And we gave this trade yesterday, 95.5 to 95.1 range, short range, bang, gave a parallel, showed everybody the move, took the move, made money on it. If you want to make money, get in the Nordic Alpha server. We'll talk about it here in a little bit. But this is the Wolfer Power Hour. If you are here, it's because you want to make money in the markets. It's because you want to know and understand what is going on with Bitcoin. You understand where we're potentially going. And I know there's a lot of people in the markets right now that are like, oh, I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I'm bullish on Bitcoin. I get it. I get it. Long term, we're bullish on Bitcoin. Short term, we're not bullish on Bitcoin yet. Okay. We're not bullish on Bitcoin till it gets above the 96 to 96.5 range. And ultimately, you really would want to see it above 97.5. And I'm going to show you that here in just a second. I do think that there's a potential that we retrace down to the $89,000 level. You could even go as far down as 84 to 77K if you fulfill the entire range. If you fulfill the entire volume profile, you're going to 84K, right? If you fulfill the entire range, you're going to 77K for a massive leg up. This is what I'm thinking is going to happen, right? That is what I'm thinking is going to happen. We got US in the comment section saying, what's up? If you are here, drop something in the comment section for me. If there's any altcoins that you want to see me do analysis on, something that you're like, yo, I really need to know what's going on with this coin, drop it in here. I'll be more than happy to do it. If nobody drops anything, then I won't do any, right? So, you know, what they say, closed mouths don't get fed. So open your mouth and tell me what it is that you want to see, and we'll do it, potentially, right? With that being said, let's just get straight into the charts. I do see Bitcoin doing some Trumpski. She said she wants to. This is not a woman. I always call Partita a woman. This is a dude. Trumpski wants to see the Trump coin. No problem. So Trump coin has a lot of manipulation going on with it right now. It's going to be hard to chart because a coin that gets moved by tweets, it's tough to do. So let's get into it. Let's get into the charts. See what we can do, and bam, do my little handy dandy transition. Right? All right. Bitcoin is not digging this level. Okay. Bitcoin is not digging the 95 level. It's not digging the 94 level. Okay. So as you can see, that was support. Okay. Here's your, I got pivots. We got pivots. These are your pivot points right here. As you can see, we're coming up on a pivot point right now. $94,000, and then 94.5 is also a pivot point from these highs right over here. And as you can see, pivot point, baby. Drop down, resistance. Now, support, drop down, bang, bang, resistance, right? It just keeps support, right? These two pivot point levels, man, they are key. And you've got the 200 moving average right here, and you've got the 50 and the 100 curling to the downside. And where's the 100? It is... Where's my 100 MA? Oh, dude, it's literally covered up by the pivots. Bang, right? So it's starting to flatten out. If we stay under it, it's going to curl down, right? We're trying to regain this 200. What I'm seeing right now, just initially speaking, right off rip, that is definitely a bear flag. Whoops. Bang. Okay. This bear flag gets you pretty decently down. Say you break out here, break down here, you're going about 92K. Okay. If this bear flag does play out, there's a larger charting pattern that could play out. 1 hour bear flag. The bear fliggity, baby. The bear fliggity, right? So there's a larger pattern that plays out. Yeah, I mean, if you're thinking about joining the VIP, dude, one thing I can tell you is that this is the literal least expensive you will ever see it. Okay. I gave out this level yesterday. As you can see, you know, I'm already up like $1,000 on this trade, right? And I gave out, this is not a huge trade either. I literally have $3,500 on this trade. It's up almost 33% overnight. Okay. I gave that level out literally yesterday in this video, right? As you can see, yesterday, 12:07 p.m. And then it already started playing out shortly after. Bang. I updated everybody this morning and I said, hey, this is super important. We're about to break down outside of this level right here. If we do, we're going to see a pretty decent sized move down. And guess what happened? I'll show you what happened. Literally, I mean, all I have to do is show you this, right? All I have to do is show you this, and you know what happened, right? And I basically said, look, if we lose the 200 moving average, we could be going down further to the $89,000 range. Obviously, you want a confirmation, right? So what exactly happened? Well, that was the rising wedge, okay? My bad. That's not the rising wedge. That's for the one-day chart. There's the ascending triangle. And as you can see, we broke down outside of it. And then guess what happened? We hit the bottom end of the trend channel that I talked about in that video. Bang, 50, 95, $100, 95.1 to 95.2 was what I said here. Look, this is where you short, right? And this is where you're targeting. Bang. I can't make it any better than that. Perfect entry, perfect exit, boom. That's it, man. It's that simple. And then also, if you come in here as well, you're not just getting my TA. As you can see, we've got the boss, the break of structure, BOS. He gave out 2 trades this morning, right? Let me see, where does it start? He posts so many times in here. He's a day trader. He day trades this, and he gave out the levels, bing, bang, boom. And he shorted, and then he longed it at the bottom. And he gave out those trades all through this. Realized profit $1,000, right? Just today in like an hour. Okay. So he made $1,000 today in an hour. I made $1,000 today in an hour. We're not trading $1 million, right? And I post daily TA in there. On crypto, I showed everybody the ranges on gold yesterday too. That's it. I mean, gold's killing it right now. Our gold trade's killing it. S&P, we did the same thing. Like, we talk about futures, altcoins, Bitcoins, Forex, metals, gold, whatever you want, dude. It's probably already in there. So if you're not in that VIP, click the link in the description and get in there, because I promise you, it's less than a shot of espresso. It's like 90 cents a day to be in there, and it is the least expensive it will ever be. Okay, and I promise you, it will never get cheaper. It will never get less expensive. Okay. So in any case, we have the ascending triangle, and this ascending triangle, right? Let me get this other stuff off of here. So this ascending triangle is supposed to break out. And I said, hey, if we break down outside of this, it's bad news for Bitcoin, especially if you lose the 200 moving average, which, as you can see, we're trying to lose that right now. You get a confirmation candle outside of this 200 moving average, dude, it's bad news. I don't know how to do payment by crypto, man. I'm trying to get it integrated, but it's a subscription-based service. I promise you don't want to pay with crypto, because then you're going to have to give your wallet. Your wallet's going to have to do a smart contract that says that Me6 or Stripe can debit out of your account. And it just offers a vulnerability to your wallet, dude. So, like, seriously, dude, just use a credit card. Like, for subscription services, you do not want to hook up your crypto wallet and then let some program automatically debit from your wallet. I would not do that. I would not suggest doing that. So it's just about security, man. I don't want to bring unwanted vulnerabilities to my followers like you. New day, new dollar. I really don't. So I would just say use the credit card, man, because it makes more sense. So in any case, we break outside of this bear flag. We know where we're going. You know, say we do it in the next 2 hours, probably coming down here to about $92,000, maybe 91.5. And guess what else is down there? These swing lows right here, 91.7 is those swing lows. You break those swing lows, it's coming down, baby. It's going down. So what I want to like show people just really quick too, like if you were to flip this over, okay? If you were to invert this chart, how do I invert a chart? Is Google lying to me? Alt plus I? Let's try it. Get out of here. I don't want this. Okay. So if you saw this, okay, where you busted through a support level, came down to another support level, bounced, and then started to curl, would you say, hey, this looks bullish, right? You would say, hey, it looks like we're about to go up. You're probably not going to say, I think we're going to continue downward, right? Well, unfortunately, this chart is inverted. So this is curling at the top. And a lot of people think, oh, we're going to keep going bullish. No, dude, invert that chart. A lot of people would say, oh, we're bullish here, right? But they're not saying we're bearish here. Isn't that odd? It's because of the biases that people have in the crypto market, dude. Nobody tells you that real deal Holyfield. But luckily you're on my channel and you do get that real deal Holyfield. Okay. My question is it viable Bitcoin going up to liquidate at? No. I don't think it's going to 96K today, bro. So let's just call it what it is. Let's go to the daily chart. No, it's not hitting 96K. If anything, it's going to go back up to the previous day open, which we are sitting at $95,000. It ain't going up to 96K today. I don't think so. This looks like October 2021 all over again. I mean, it could be. In my opinion, this is what's going to happen, right? This is just an opinion. This is not financial advice. If you look at this, this is a rounded top, man. This is not a bull flag, right? This is actually a bearish sign. When you're trending up like this, you're consolidating up. That doesn't show upward strength. That shows downward strength, right? Why? Because upward sloping trend channels, they don't break up. They break down, okay? And if you look at this, what does a rising wedge do? Well, let's show you. Rising wedge breaks down, okay? And it comes after a nice move up, okay? So what's happening? Nice move up, rising wedge on the daily chart, break down, right? Bang, 88K, 89K. Guess what that is? A fair value gap right here. We haven't even tapped into it at all. You come through it, you're coming to 89K. Promise you that, okay? Even further than that, if you get down here to 89K, you're losing the 50, or you're losing the 100 and the 200 moving average. What are those? The red line is the 100. The green line is the 200. You're about to get a death cross on the daily chart. Okay. The 100 goes below the 200. Okay. You'd also be losing the 21 SMA, which is an absolute magnet. And that 21 SMA is right here at 89K. Okay. So my guess is probably we're going to be coming down here to 89K. All right. So, and then if you get down here to 89K, guess what? You've rejected at the point of control, and the next logical level is to come down and complete that volume profile down here at $84,000, okay? And then if you hit $84,000 and you get under it and you bearishly backtest it, you're probably going to revisit probably 77, create a lower or a higher low, and then you can start blasting. Because as it sits right now, we are breaking market structure to the upside, okay? And you're seeing a rounded bottom, and this could be a cup and handle pattern, but you got to stay in this range and you have to break above this level right here. And really you have to break above $99,000 for there to be like considered a nice little, you know, upward movement. So let's just draw the cup and handle and we'll see what we can figure out. Okay. So let's say that this is the cup and handle, right? All right, that looks like a nice cup and handle, right? Looks like a nice cup and handle. You cannot break down outside of here. Okay, it's just that simple, right? Just move this over. 1 day cup and handle. Say you break out, it's going to give you a price target of probably the all-time high. 75% of the measured move is 112, $112,000. So there's your 1 day cup and handle, right? Bang. That's a bullish pattern. Okay. Now, are we going to get bullish on it? I don't know yet, because if we fall below about $92,500 in the next day or so, it's about 90. Basically, you get under 93 right now, which is where we bounced earlier. You get under 93 right now, you're getting outside of this right now. Can you edit this channel? Absolutely. You can put it all the way down here to these swing lows. So long as you stay above about $91,000, this cup and handle is still in play. But you lose the $91,000 range, then you're going to start losing the 200 and the 100 moving average on the daily chart. And that's a long-term. Those are long. This is a long-term chart, right? These are critical, massive levels that you cannot lose. That is what you would see happening. But back to the task at hand, what I was talking about is, even if we do come down here, it's not that bad of news, to be honest with you, right? Say we come down here, we retest 77, we bounce. Okay. That's what we want to see. Why? Because we had our ultimate high, then we had our swing low, right? So we set a higher low here, then we set a higher high, but then guess what? We set another higher low right there, right? That's great. But then we set a lower high, and then we set another lower low. Lower high, whoops, my bad. That's the wrong one. Lower high, lower low, right? Then we set another lower high, bang. Then we set another lower low, right? Guess what? Another lower high, bang. Another lower low, bang. Now we have set a higher high. So if we come down here to 77 and we set a higher low, we're bouncing, baby. It's that simple. I know that looks crazy as hell, but you know, there you go, man. And the other thing that I want to kind of like iterate, and this is what I was telling people on gold, because we're short gold right now, and I'm probably going to be closing that position out sometime before next week, or not before next week, but before like Wednesday of next week. I think Wednesday is when it is. We do have a federal. We do have the FOMC meeting, which is the Fed interest rate decision, right? So if that Fed interest rate decision comes in hot and they lower interest rates, Bitcoin could dump down a little bit, right? And get a nice little fake out to the downside and then pump. And that's where also what happens with gold, particularly, is gold breaks out and goes up whenever the interest rates go down. So typically, the what's it called, like the risk on assets go down a little bit, and then they'll start to find their bottom and go up, right? And then gold will pump when interest rates go down. I'm not saying that's exactly what's going to happen, because there's a lot of other factors that you have to take into account. What's the inflation rate? You know, is the dollar index DXY? Is it strong? Because if it is, then, you know, risk assets might continue to go up. Okay. And that's kind of what we're looking at. So in any case, pay attention next week for that FOMC meeting. But as it sits right here, I mean, you know what I'm doing. I'm right here, baby. Like, I'm right here. I've got my stuff is, I show what I'm doing. I'm short from 95.1. I put my money where my mouth is. And, you know, that's that. And as it sits, we're up like $1,000 on that, right? So we're good. And we're going to keep that short open unless we break above the $96,000 level, which I do not think that we're going to break above. Okay. Is this cup and handle going to play out? It's tough to say, man. It's tough to say. It's really tough to say whether or not that's going to break out. Like, as it sits, we're right in the middle of the channel. We come down here. I mean, this is a good take profit range. $91,000 would be an epic take profit. Boom. You blast, you know, you run it up. You run up a check. Right? You get that, what we call that money, honey. You get that money, honey. So we'll see what happens. But in any case, this is what I'm doing right now. And if you're in here, you would have been doing this with us, right? You would have been doing this with us, myself and the boss included. So it doesn't matter what kind of trader you are. Swing trader, scalp trader, day trader, intraday trader, Forex trader, gold, metals, commodities trader, friggin' crypto trader, stock trader. It's all in there. It's all in there. We cover it all from all angles. So, you know, do your thing, man. But one thing I can tell you, all this group is doing is growing every day. And once we hit a certain level, which I'm not going to tell you how many people that is because I will determine it at the time. But once there's so many people in here, that price is going up. And as it sits right now, you can get 5% off if you do 3 months, 10% off if you buy 6 months at a time, and 20% off if you buy a whole year. And you're getting a whole year for like less than $300. It's literally like 90 cents a day. I would lock that in, man. I would lock that in. Damn, Ryan Holt's killing it. He said, I'm in a 10x short. Stop loss is above 95.5, baby. What's your entry? Tell me what your entry is. All right, let's see what we got in the comments section. I've not been paying attention to it. Yeah, payment in crypto. October 2021. Thank you. Oh, yeah, you already know what time it is. Oh, yeah. Okay, so our Gilbert. Yeah, we already kind of talked about that. Yeah, 100%. All right, boom. No, we're good. We're through the comments section. Anybody that's got any TA they want me to do, drop it. I'll see if I can get to it. We'll take it from there. In any case, this is my bias. My guess is we come down here, right? My guess is we come down here. At the very least, we come down here. And then we set a higher low to then continue to the upside. This is where things start to get nice and bullish. But you got to be patient, man. There's also, I want to show you something that's extremely bullish that I was talking about. Okay, we have a green dot that printed on the weekly, and we had the momentum wave. It curled. Okay, what does CryptoFace call it when that happens? CryptoFace, he's the guy that invented Market Cipher. What's he call it? Clipped. It clipped. Okay, so momentum's moving upwards, right? Green dot. And then you've also got money flow is trending down. That's the only bad news, right? If you get the VWAP trending down, my bias, okay, is that this doesn't play out in a week or two, right? These green dots, they don't usually play out in a week or two. They usually play out, you know, a few weeks later. Okay, so let's just look at what it is, right? Okay, so we had a green dot back here, right? When did that play out? So green dot, you kind of stayed in the same range for about 4, 5, even 6 weeks, right? So you capitulated from the close, which was at 64K, and you got up to about 69. So you capitulated within about 5K. And then this is where you started to take off right here on this candle. So this was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, almost 7 weeks after that green dot printed, okay, is when the move actually was made. Let's look at another green dot that had like a meaningful move. Because these ones that print a red dot immediately afterwards, those are outliers. You don't take those into account. That one, right? Even this one. So you got to give it a couple of weeks for the green dot to actually confirm. As it sits, we're only on the second week, right? So if we print a red dot here, this thing's going to get nullified. Now, here's the second time that this happened, right? So you've got this one. It took 1, 2, 3 weeks, and then bam, you blasted off all the way up to here. You kept it ripping all the way up, right? Meaningful moves upwards. Boom, up to all-time highs, baby. Look at this one. This ripped from 69,000 to literally 110, like $7,000, right? $104,000, something like that. It's pretty crazy. It's pretty crazy. Yeah, there you go. Okay, so you're at 94.5. That's your short. Did you get this this morning, like from the group? Because I'm pretty sure, Ryan, you're in the VIP, right? Did you get the alert and the signal on this in the group? Because that's an entry that would have happened literally today. You know what I'm saying? Let's see what we got. Yeah, that entry was like right here whenever I was talking about this channel breaking down. Is that where you got in? Just let me know in the comment section if you did, because that's awesome. If you got in like right after I did this, that's why I tagged everybody and said like super important, yo. And where were we at? Weren't we at? Yeah, we were at like 94.1, 94.5. We just broken out of we just lost the 100 moving average on that. Or did you get it, you know, from this video or something like that? Or did you just find this yourself, man? Just interested to see and hear. We are losing the 200 moving average right now. Let's look at the 4 hour chart. I want to look at the 4 hour, see what's going on there. Let's get this thing off of here, man. It's cup and handle. Yeah, I mean, like literally, yeah, this is like 4 hour chart isn't looking super hot. We just lost the 50 moving average, came up bearishly, back tested it, lost it again. Guess where it takes you to? $89,000 to the 100 moving average. And then you've got your fair value gap all the way down here at about $89,000, right? That's on the 4 hour chart. That's the fair value gap. There's also the fair value gap on the daily chart that brings you down to $89,000, right? And then even on the hourly chart, you've got a fair value gap over here. Bang, right? Takes you to $89,252 fair value gap on this. Never retested it. This fair value gap right here, you got it. You took it out, right? Bang, on this candle right here, you blasted, okay? So if you come down here, this is a good place to take profit. You might blast back up, set a lower high, right? And micro-wise, come down here, right? And then you could long this down here, and then you could short up. You could long down here at this fair value gap fill, and then short up here once you get right back up here to test these moving averages, especially if these moving averages start to roll over. As you can see, there was a death cross 50 or no, my bad. There was no death cross. There was a golden cross right here, and it hasn't played out, and then you immediately lost all of the moving averages, which is not awesome, right? Yeah, you waited for the market open. Nice, baby. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Ryan. We've got Gilbert, our Gilbert, in the chat. He's in the trading group as well. Absolute animal. Yeah, I can't speak enough about getting in the trading group, man. I can't do streams every day. I don't think I've done a stream in like 4 days. I have a family. I have kids. I have a wife. I have a life, okay? But you know what's really easy for me to do? Come in here and do this. Say, hey, this took me 2 minutes, okay? You know how long it takes me to do these streams? An hour. And then I also have to like set the stream up to alert people so that people show up and they know like, oh, Drew's doing a stream, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, get in there, bro. Get in there like swimwear, baby. Because that's where I'm giving you the highest level insights, baby. Let's get it. So I'm sure Ryan Holt will be in there one day. No big deal. So with that being said, let's check out Cardano. That Cardano for the R Gilbert. I mean, here's your longing opportunity, bro. I would not long here. Not with the way the Bitcoin's looking. I would not long here. And if you're long in here, dude, I would be setting this as my stop loss. Okay. And I would not be targeting all the way up here anymore. I would be targeting right here. Okay. Let's see what the risk to reward is on that. Damn. Still at 9.5x. Yeah, dude. I mean, that's what it is. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, this is the trade right here. You know, you've got a scalp long opportunity, but again, you know, what are we seeing, right? What are we seeing? So drop this short position out of here. Same stuff, man. Same stuff. Right? Downward sloping trend channel. Bang. Right? You just hit the bottom of it. You short up here. You hit the bottom of it. You take profits. You could long here. Try to get back up here to the 21 SMA. I don't know, man. I mean, this one's tough. This one's tough. You got the same bear flag happening, right? You got the same bear flag. Bang, 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 right? Same bear flag, same target. Brings you under this. You get under this level. Like, this is where you start shorting. You took out this previous swing low. I would say come up here, find a short entry position, and then take it all the way down to here, man. Like, where's my short? Yeah, so I would actually alter my short now. Well, I mean, I guess you don't have to alter it. I guess I would say I'm going to do a new short position, right? Is this on the hourly chart? Yeah, it is. Okay. I would say if you're shorting, right, and I would not necessarily, I mean, if you want to take the scalp long, go ahead, do your thing, bro. I'm not going to tell you what to do with your money, but, this would be where I would be shorting, right? And if I'm shorting, I'm probably targeting all the way down to here for a 5.5x risk to reward ratio. I'm putting my stop loss outside of these highs right here, or not the highs, but the trend channel. You could even get super safe and put it outside of the highs and still have a 3x risk to reward. But I would say outside of the trend channel, just depending on where you enter. Say you get it over here. This is where your stop loss would be, right? And this is where you would be targeting. Okay. So, in any case, yeah, I would be looking, it does look good. It looks good for a long entry, but unfortunately, well, kind of, because you just took out these lows, right? So you had these lows. You were hoping to double bottom here. You took it out, kind of like how you double bottomed here, and then you pumped, right? There was a head and shoulders pattern here as well. And let's see if it's played out 100% yet. Looks like it's played out. Bang. 65 to 75% of the measured move. It prints all the time, man. Here's your measured move, right? This line right here. Let's pull these off. This is your measured move. About 75% of it, dude. I mean, like Gareth Soloway is the one that taught me this. I always front run measured moves in any case. I don't care. That's just what I do because I don't, people, this is like such a level that people are just targeting no matter what. So call it 6%. So 4.5% is where you would have been. Boom. You went to 4.2%. That's 75% of the measured move, man. Soloway for the win again, right? And if you don't know who Soloway is, I guarantee you know who Soloway is. Okay. He's a guy that I'm a verified pro trader on verified investing. Okay. Here's my profile. Go check it. Whatever. This is Soloway right here. This is Soloway. Okay. There's 6 pro traders on verified investing's platform. Obviously, I'm one of them. I do the gold analysis. I do all of that stuff. Soloway, absolute animal, 75% of the measured move rule. He's the one that taught me that. It hit perfectly. This is where you could have longed, bang, you'd already be in profit, nice scalp. As it sits right now, there's no trade, right? You hit the bottom end of this trend channel, boom, you could hit a scalp long. You hit the top end right up here, bang, that's a scalp short. And if you break down outside of this channel, you confirm outside of it and outside of this 0.236, that's where you short, okay? You can short here, but, the better confirmation is to short here, okay? And then take it all the way down to this $61 or 61.5 cent level. And then you just keep the same type of stop loss, right? Above these swing highs, bang, you've got a 2.5x risk to reward. Honestly, you can probably set it outside of the 0.236 for a much higher risk to reward, 5x, right? That's what I'm talking about. I mean, this is the stuff this is the stuff where dreams are made, man. This is where legends are made. Whenever you're taking, trades like what I took on gold, we shorted the top. We rode it all the way down. We took profits here. I gave this out in the Nordic Alpha group inside of my metals TA channel 1 million times. I gave it out 1 million times. Just gave out the make or break points on gold today within like about an hour and a half ago, something like that. I mean, this is high level at its best, man. High level at its best. Go do your thing. If you want to, scalp short, this is where I would be doing it. This is more safe. Once you get below this level and you confirm, that's more safe in my opinion. Shorting up here, not as safe because you could just run up here to this. And if you wanted to short, you would want to do it like somewhere up here and then put your stop loss outside of the swing highs, right? And then you would be targeting a pretty decent move down. I would say probably to the lows and to the 62 cent range, which would give you about a 4x risk to reward. That's a safe short. This is a safe short. Scalp long, I don't know if this is the safest one. I would scalp long down here so that I could set my stop loss closer. Okay. Hey, I lost a bunch of money with Cardano in 2021. Yeah, FOMO is the devil. Yeah. So that's something actually I teach in my training on the verified investing platform is how to not FOMO into stuff. And that's something I teach in all of these different, like streams and inside of, my videos inside of the VIP trading room in Nordic Alpha. Like I try to teach people this is not where you long, right? Just because you got this bounce, this is not where you long. This is also not where you short. This is not a key level. You are in no man's land right now. So this is a no trade zone as it sits right now, right? Same thing with Bitcoin. Let's go back to Big Daddy Bitcoin. See what it's doing. So again, this is kind of no man's land, okay? This is where you short. This is where you long, right? Because you double bottom here and you swing failure pattern. This is where you long for a scalp, and you would have scalped the crap out of this thing, man. Like, this is a 20-minute scalp, and John, he's the boss, BOS, he scalped this. It's a 1.5% move in an hour, right? He scalped this, bang, right? And then you lost the 200 moving average again. So as it sits right now, this is a no trade zone. Now, say you come outside of this and you confirm below the 200 moving average, yeah, you get a retest of it, and then bang, that's where you can short. But you want to have it to where, what's the most logical moves, right? So first and foremost, there's liquidity up here, right? There's liquidity right there, and there's liquidity right there, okay? So what's the most logical moves? They take that liquidity, and then they reverse it. So my point is that if you long here and you got to set your stop loss all the way down here, but you're only targeting these highs, the risk to reward doesn't make sense. And I'm going to show you why. Say you long here, right? And your risk to reward is right here. You got to set your stop loss here. Look at your risk to reward. 1.8. Who wants that, right? Even if you target all the way up here, you got a 3.38 if you want to swing trade it, right? No big deal. All right. Now, say you short here. Say you shorted, up here. Even say you got the wick, right? And you got to set your stop loss all the way up here above the highs, man. And that's the first highs. You got to set it above the second ones, because that's where they're going to try and come. You're going to come and try and take this liquidity. And then what? You're targeting the lows? You got a 1x risk to reward, right? Say you target the next lows. All the way to the bottom, you barely have a 2x risk to reward. You don't even have it fully. So that's why I'm saying, like, you enter at the key levels. And that's why I'm saying whenever you get the short, okay, if you get the confirmation here, say you get another candle, you close this candle, and then you get a second candle that confirms it, you get a wick up to the 200, that's where you enter at the 200, and you set your stop loss above this swing high, right outside of the 200 moving average. You target those same lows, you got a 7x risk to reward. Even if you target these lows, you got a 2.5x risk to reward, right? So that's kind of what I teach. If you want to know those things, get in the group, man, because I do it limited on the streams, but I do give all this stuff out daily inside of the group. Now I want to show everybody what's going on. Help me, Tom Cruise. Help me, Tom Cruise. Thank you, R. Gilbert.
Mr. Bobby, come on down here.
Help me, Jesus. Help me, Jewish God. Help me, Allah. Ah! Help me, Tom Cruise.
This is
Help me, Tom Cruise. Ricky Bobby. Ricky Bobby. All right, let's see what we got going on. All right, so here's the parallel channel. As you can see, we come back up here, we retest this. That's a short opportunity, period, right? You break this high, that's where you know you don't want to be short anymore, right? So you can come up here, bang, you can take your short if you want to. Right outside of these swing highs. I would say probably right outside of these swing highs, because you don't want to be here, because they're gonna try and take this out. Then they'll try to take this out. Can they do it all in one move? Probably not. You got a 3x risk to reward on this. Even if you set your stop loss super loose, you set it tighter outside of these swing highs and outside of this, you got a 8x risk to reward. Even here, you've got a 4.5x, right? Bang, right? Taking it, just riding it down to the bottom end of the trend channel. That's it. Now, secondarily, what I want to show people is there was a secondary trend channel that was right here that we broke out of, right? It's a descending trend channel. Boom, we broke out of it. We back tested it. We bounced, right? Then we obviously topped out, and that's where we started to form this trend channel, right? Now, what does that mean? Okay, so first and foremost, we front ran that as a support. Okay, so if we break down outside of this, you're going to see support down here at about $92,000, which is where these previous swing lows are, right? So that's your target, right? That's your target. Say you break outside of this, bang, you're looking at short here, boom, that's it. And you're looking at, maybe probably $92,000 range. You'd set your stop loss literally super tight on this. That's it. That's what you're targeting, right? Because if you break outside of this, you're going to take out these swing lows, right? You're going to take out those swing lows over here, which we swing failed right here. Okay. So, is that going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. But you know, in any case, those are your two shorting opportunities, in my opinion, right? Top end of the trend channel, bang, put your stop loss there, and a 3.5x risk reward. Pretty simple. Okay, now you've also got a longing opportunity if you come here and bounce. You already got that opportunity here, so you're going to get it again. I don't know. If you bang on this again, you're probably gonna fall through it. Just like this. Whenever you came down, you banged on it, boom, you fell through it, right? That's all I'm saying. So, you know, we'll see what happens there. But there's another thing that I want to show people on the daily chart. Got a nice little pivot point. Okay. Got a nice little pivot point that we just regained. Guess where the support on that is? Right at the 100 moving average on the daily chart, $90,500. Got a nice little pivot point. Okay. So just be aware of that, man. Like at the end of the day, this stuff is, it's not super complex. There's a reason why we wanted to short up here, not only because of the ascending or the rising wedge, not only because of the ascending triangle, right? Breakdown, okay? And the like triple top nature of this, right? Not only because of this fair value gap, not only because we swing failed these highs over here, right? We didn't swing fail these highs. I think we took these out. Nope, we swing failed them. What's the high? 95, 128, 88. What's the close? Yep, we swing failed those highs. So when you swing fail highs like this, you usually get a move down. Okay, so we'll probably fill this fair value gap. That's just my opinion. So not only were we trying to short here because of that, right? And I've been calling this out for days and days and days, but we also did it because of this. You're front running the point of control at 96.5, and let's update this. Where's my point of control? Bang. So you front ran the point of control at 96.7, right? Never got to it. And then guess what you did? You literally smacked the 0.618 fib within $100. So that's all I'm saying. Like this was a pretty cut and dry shorting opportunity, at least on the 1 hour chart. 100% for sure on the 1 hour chart. Ooh, look at us. We're trying to get back up there, baby. We're trying to get back up there. Let's see if we can break outside of the bear flag, man. I don't know. We'll see what happens, you know, but I still think that there's room for downside before our massive move up. Do I use the 1 hour chart to chart price action, then find entries on lower time frames like the 5, the 10, the 15, the 30? And where do you usually start when looking at new crypto assets? D/W/M. Let's see. So I always take a top-down approach, man. I want to understand what's going on the weekly chart, right? And then I want to understand, are there any fair value gaps, which, as you can see, this is like a textbook fair value gap on the weekly chart. Brings you down to about 87K, 86.5, right? So this is a fair value gap. This is a doji, indecision doji. If we close a doji here, you know, it's a massive fair value gap, right? I'm telling you, you could go down to 87K. Okay, cool. So where can I enter? Okay, now we've got a fair value gap here as well, right? And we're topping out here. Okay, great. Now that's where you go down to the 4 hours, then the 1 hour charts, and you say, hey, here you go. And obviously I'm giving a very high level overview because I'm not going to give out stuff like this for free on YouTube anymore, because I've already given out a lot for free on YouTube for about 5 months in 2025 and like 6, 7, 8x people's accounts. And I got nothing in return from it, right? Just people's love and support and their likes and stuff like that. But, you know, it is time for me to monetize my skill. So that's what I'm doing inside of the Nordic Alpha group. And then essentially what I do is I get down to the 1 hour chart. I start looking to see if we're breaking market structure as it sits. We are, right? We got this high. We got a higher low than this previous low, right? Or this previous low, right? And then we got a lower high, bang, still a higher low though, right? And then guess what? Lower high, higher low, right? And then lower high, and this is where it starts to turn around, lower low. We get a lower high here again, and then boom, you're probably going to get a lower low down here to about 92K. Okay. And that's where I start thinking, okay, we're breaking market structure, right? On the 1 hour chart. Then you can get down to the 15-minute chart and kind of see what's going on, right? Are we looking like we're going to, you know, kind of curl and top out potentially? Yeah, technically, right? So like, say, for example, you're trending up here, right? This is where it falls off. Bang, right? And that's why I was like, okay, we've got a downward sloping trend line right here. 95.1 is my entry. Boom, right? And then 93,000 is my target. And as you can see, we hit it within like dollars, right? It's perfect. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the high level overview of, you know, how you kind of find your entries and your exits. And then obviously I use my charting patterns. I use my parallels, as you can see, bang, right? And they work very well, man. They work very well. I can teach people this no problem. And I teach people this in the group in my videos every single day over multiple assets, multiple time frames. But for all intents and purposes, I usually am showing people the 1 hour, the 4 hour, and the daily charts, just from a macro perspective, daily, weekly, a little bit more short-term perspective, 4 hour, 1 hour, the micro perspective, you're looking at, you know, 15-minute down to even the 10 to the 1 minute charts, right? I try not to get too far into the weeds because I am a swing and scalp trader. I run businesses. I have a family. I don't want to sit here, you know, in front of my charts every single day. And that's just what's worked for me. The boss, he is a day trader and he kills it, right? Stop loss in profit, free trade. He's literally trading it right now, right? He just posted this, you know, current long position. He's already taken one take profit. Now he's got it. Bang. Closed half at the VWAP. Bang. Over with, man. Killing it. So, you know, whatever you want, it's in this group. I can assure you. So yeah, with that being said, hopefully I see everybody in the group. If you want the really high level insights and you want them fast, that's where you do it. I can't stress that enough. So hopefully we see some people in the group. Anybody that's here from Twitter, scroll up, hit the follow button. Anybody that's here from YouTube, hit subscribe, and then boom, baby, bang on the notification bell, like the video, share the video, show it to all your people. We give you the real deal, Holyfield, on this. No hopium. I'm not going to deal you hopium. I'm going to teach you how to trade. I'm going to teach you how to do all these things inside of the Nordic Alpha community. Love to have you in there. If you don't want to be in there, it's perfectly fine. Just know that, you know, 3 months, 2 months, 6 months from now, it will be more expensive. And so we just opened this literally 10 days ago for people. And we've already got, you know, over a dozen people in there, action takers, ready to go. We've got multiple technical analysts in there, myself, the boss. We've got a guy in there that also is very successful trading meme coins, which I don't necessarily trade, but I was like, hey, if we got a guy that's successful with it, let's bring him in, because I know a lot of people want to see the meme coins too. No problem. We got that too. We're going to create, you know, special channels for him for that, and he's going to do his thing. So with that being said, I will see you in the next video. If you want to get into Nordic Alpha, first link in the description. If you're here on Twitter, scroll up to my description, whatever thing, it's the link at the top of my profile. And I will see everybody in the next video. Everybody have a wonderful day. Peace.